Packed into Stabler Arena on campus at Lehigh University, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, about 60 miles north of Philadelphia, about 80 miles west of New York City, and they are ready to roll here in the Patriot League. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups brought to you by Kubota. Tim Kempton, the two-time defending Patriot League Player of the Year. Around him, the other four starters all shot over 40% from three-point land in Patriot League play, and for Holy Cross, their starting five, including Malachi Alexander, averaged 11.5 points per game in the regular season, bumped it up to 19 per game so far in the 3 tournament wins for Holy Cross. Yet expecting a crowd of over 4,000 here for the championship. Lehigh looking to put it together and get to the NCAA tournament for the 6th time all time. That would be a similar storyline for Holy Cross, looking for its 6th NCAA bid. The Crusaders, again with this road swing, 3 straight road wins, sub 500 overall on the season, but now 1 win away from a trip to the NCAA tournament. 8th Patriot League final the last 16 years for the Crusaders, a record 11th appearance in the Patriot League title game. And for Lehigh, they've never lost in a Patriot League final. 3 times they've been here to this final game. 3 times they've come away with a victory, looking to make it 4 for 4. Well, Armo Casera is standing by live with the 2 head coaches, Bill Carmody of Holy Cross and Brett Reed of Lehigh.
Jason, Patriot League final, center court with both head coaches. First, Coach Carmody, a month ago you probably didn't expect to be here. Talk about where your team is now.
Yeah, I guess it was a bit improbable, but guys hung in there pretty nicely, and we pieced together 10 good days out of a year, so we'll see what happens tonight.
Good luck. Coach, you guys have done nothing but win here over the last month. Talk about the attitude of your players.
Great character, great attitude by these guys. They've shown tremendous unity and resiliency. I'm really proud of them, and hopefully they're ready to rise to a moment of competitive greatness.
Go get them, Coach. Good luck. Back to you, Jason.
Mo, coaches, thanks. Time now for the American Family Insurance teams that are dreaming of a bid. We talked about the last appearances for both of these squads. For the Crusaders, 2007. For Lehigh, it was 2012. They won 2 in a 3-year span with a team led by C.J. McCollum, now looking for a 3rd in the past 7 years. Ready to tip it up. Purple power here for the Crusaders on the road. Lehigh in the brown and white at home. Crowd ready, teams ready. Hope you are as well. The only ticket to be punched on the night via an automatic bid is ready to be awarded. Tony Crisp has the ball in his hands, tips it up, controlled by the Mountain Hawks. Shannon Garrick, Evan Burrows, the other officials here for this Patriot League final, as Mo slides back in with me after his pre-game chat. Let's talk about this. Holy Cross switching to a 1-3-1 defense and kind of living and dying by it in the Patriot League tournament. They've been living well with it, Mo.
A lot of confidence in it now, something Coach Carmody has run throughout his career.
From the corner, Kyle Lefroy, talented freshman from Pasadena, California, part of the Patriot League all-rookie team. Can't hit. First crack for the Crusaders on offense. And Bill Carmody played for Pete Carrill at Princeton, disciple of that type of offense. Ran it during his time as head coach of the Tigers in the Ivy League, and also in his long stay, a decade plus at Northwestern. Lehigh just faced it. Mike Brennan, another Pete Carrill disciple, runs it for the Eagles. So Lehigh saw form of it in the semifinals. End of the shot clock. Corner jumper no good, but the offensive board for Alexander.
Holy Cross struggles to score at times. It's going to be really important for Lehigh not to give them second chance opportunities, as we saw there with an offensive rebound.
Jumper on the way, and that's good. Anthony Thompson had the huge 3 at the end of the first round game to help win it against Loyola. Strikes first here in the final.
Exactly what I was talking about. Second possessions, extra opportunities for Holy Cross, and the confidence grows in this 1-3-1.
This is the first time Lehigh has trailed since the quarterfinal. They were never behind. An 18-2 start last game against American, and Tim Kempton does what he does inside.
Exactly what you do against a 1-3-1. Don't settle for long jump shots. Go inside to your strength, Tim Kempton.
Holy Cross met Lehigh twice. Lehigh won 87-66 in the first meeting in Worcester in January, but Holy Cross had the lead up 8 with 8 minutes left to go and then went into a funk in the rematch here at Lehigh last month, and the Mountain Hawks rallied to win it. The miss on the drive by the freshman Carl Charles. Lehigh in transition. Karan Ross led the Patriot League in assists over 6 per game. Key playmaker, kick across for Austin Price. Yet everybody can stroke it well from distance. Lefroy with his second chance and second miss.
Now watch Holy Cross's two-tempo here. They like to take some time off the clock. This version of the old Princeton offense, passing game, no post player as you see, and they will continue to move the ball and take time off the shot clock.
Thompson left open again. Front rims that one, and Cross able to collect.
Karan Ross really is the mind behind this offense. He's the tempo, he's the leader, and you can see here just taking his time, kind of surveying the situation in this defense.
Sophomore from Jonesboro, Arkansas, joined Kempton on the first team in the Patriot League this season. Kempton on the interior. He's fouled. Let's take a look at tonight's E-Trade game plan. What's key here, Mo?
For Holy Cross, got to defend Tim Kempton. Best player in the league, got to limit his touches and value the basketball. No turnovers on the road. And for Lehigh, transition offense. And what that means, they don't have to face that set 1-3-1 defense.
Couple of opportunities, including the rebound tap for Jesse Chukwu, the senior from London. Can't get it to go. Alexander, who's been scoring strong in the postseason, not that time.
And one of my other keys was three-point defense for Lehigh. When Holy Cross shoots the ball well from the three, they're very, very good.
1 for 4 so far for Holy Cross from distance. Pass inside, Kempton the and one. Wave it off. Tony Chris says foul on the floor first. But either way, you see what Kempton can do when he gets proper position on the interior.
Emphasis here for Lehigh, get the ball inside. A lot of times in a 1-3-1, a smaller player plays along the baseline. Got to take advantage of that. Tim Kempton, again, drawing fouls and getting to the basket.
Foul on Cullen Hamilton, his first, team second. And Kempton, 6'10", junior out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Really on a roll of late. 8 double-doubles his last 9 games for Lehigh. Trying to get Jesse Chukwu at 6'9" on a mismatch against the 6'6" Charles.
Something to note here, Holy Cross changing to a man-to-man on baseline out of bounds underneath. Lehigh going to really work here to try to get Kempton another touch around the basket.
Price, the long reach of champion, able to deflect that away. Low scoring beginning to this Patriot League final. Matt Husing, junior from Stewartsville, New Jersey. Actually went to Bethlehem Catholic right here in this region. Opportunity for Ross on the drive, no good.
Both teams a little tight here, big stage, big environment. Missing some shots and some opportunities that normally they would make. Karan Ross, one of the better guards in the Patriot League.
Again, two teams that had electric starts in the semifinal. Holy Cross a 10-0 beginning at Army West Point. And Lehigh had that 18-2 explosion early on against the Eagles. Husing, short from the corner. Holy Cross about 3.5 minutes now without a point.
And you see they're one and done for Holy Cross as they drop back into this 1-3-1. Playing without a post, going to shoot a lot of threes.
Ross straightaway 3. Offline, Kempton on the tap, and Thompson, smallest man on the floor, able to find it.
And Thompson is tough. He's everywhere. Got a real nose for the ball. A little change in style and the way they play this year with the coaching change, and he's bought in and really has this team moving in the right direction.
Saw each team 6 cracks from the floor, only 1 made. This tempo right now kind of favoring Holy Cross, it feels like.
It sure does. This is the style and tempo that Holy Cross wants to play at. Make Lehigh be disciplined.
Charles at the end of the shot clock trying to work his way around Kempton, no. Lefroy on the way back. Chukwu with a tap. Able to save it. Price lost it out of bounds. Holy Cross basketball out of the timeout. Frenetic action, not much scoring, and the road team with the lead early on in Bethlehem. Stable Arena in Lehigh, side of the 2016 Patriot League Championship. Holy Cross won better than Lehigh early on. Let's take a look at Lowe's tips, tools, success, and this Crusaders Road Warrior bunch didn't win a road game in league play. Now they can't lose so far away from home in the tournament.
It's one of the more incredible stats I've seen in a long time. 0-9 in the conference on the road and 3-0 to get here with a chance to dance. It's the change in defense, and most importantly, it's confidence right now. They believe in each other.
So 3.5 bus trips right now, the 3 road games, and the first leg of this one for Bill Carmody and company. 1,902 miles by bus in 8 days. GPS is a great thing.
That's a lot of trips back to Worcester.
On the drive, Thompson no good, thought he was fouled. If you're curious, it's 795 miles from Worcester to Dayton in the first 4, where presumably if the Crusaders won, they would have a first 4 game in that opening round coming up in a couple of Tuesdays. Or actually next Tuesday, rather. Holy Cross 3, Lehigh 2. Restart here for the Mountain Hawks on the underneath out of bounds. Price attacking champion. In the length of Holy Cross in this 1-3-1 creating problems. What does Lehigh need to do to work around it?
Well, they need to take their time a little bit, a little rushed around the basket, some shots that Austin Price and Karan Ross normally always make, and really they need to get a touch for Tim Kempton every time up and down the court.
Cusick working on Kempton. Alexander dumped down, and they'll get Price, who had a hold of Champion in the paint. Hey, Robert Champion, junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, hit the big shot at Bucknell at the end of the first overtime, kind of got a rebound, falling out of bounds, put it up, went in, and Holy Cross kind of ridden that wave of momentum since.
Sometimes when you're on a run like this, as they are, you got to be good and you got to get a little lucky. You need that one spark, and that was the spark. Champion shot there, and you saw before, he has great size at his position. He posted up the smaller Lehigh defense. Look for him to continue to do that.
Eric Green, a good story, missed half of his senior year, coming back from injury as Champion uses that side to hit the runner. Green checking in, talented defensive player for Holy Cross.
Nice turnout of fans here from Holy Cross, drove down here from Worcester, and they're excited about this start as their confidence grows and this defense gets tougher and tougher to play against.
Kicked basketball, 16 left to shoot. It's spring break at Holy Cross, so some students making the trek if they're nearby. Holy Cross looking to continue this great break in the postseason. Holy Cross, Mo, more than 5.5 minutes without a bucket, and they kept the lead the whole time. Great restart, and the bucket for Kyle Lefroy.
And there's what you have to do when you're struggling a little bit on offense. Baseline out of bounds, take advantage of Holy Cross going back to that man-to-man. Lefroy slips, easy layup.
Ross with the sweet setup. That's the second field goal for the Mountain Hawks. Alexander, his triple try is good.
Holy Cross will continue to put big players on the perimeter, making Tim Kempton come away from the basket. Field goal defense, one of my keys for them.
5th leading three-point percentage shooter in the Patriot League, Malachi Alexander, junior from Bowie, Maryland. And Holy Cross, long, active defense.
One of the things that goes understated against playing this 1-3-1, it's very hard to practice against, especially when you don't do it every day. You work against man-to-man every day in practice, and playing against that 1-3-1, very hard to simulate in a short prep.
3rd turnover for Lehigh. Alexander puts it on the deck. That'll be a foul on Tim Kempton. So for Lehigh, struggles finding their rhythm. Holy Cross hasn't done a lot of scoring, but enough to hold the lead. Alexander from distance, and the Crusaders still on top. Coming up next, join CBS Sports Network's panel of experts in the studios. They break down all the latest from conference tourney play across the nation. The latest edition of Inside College Basketball Bracket Week, presented by Kubota, right here in the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Jason Knapp, Mo Cassera, our hard-working crew with you for the Patriot League Championship. 8-4 so far for Holy Cross. Neither team really finding the proper range from distance.
Both teams a little bit tight. A lot of opportunities around the basket, some misses, and that happens. Big stage here, big environment, loud, and you get a little out of sorts. Brett Reed going to work here, try to calm his team down a little bit, get back to what they've been doing so well. They've won 11 games in a row, let's not forget.
And tied for the third active longest win streak in the nation. Really strange, you look at their season, they didn't win a game till December. They were 0 for November, and now they haven't lost since January. The last defeat against Boston University on January 31st. Since then, 11 in a row. Alexander scuffling from the free throw line, missing the first. 63% on the season for him. Holy Cross 70% or so as a team.
Talking to some of the Holy Cross folks around the court here today before the game, they really believe Malachi Alexander is the big key to their team. An early three here, really important for him.
So a couple of key misses for Alexander. Had 24 in the first round against Loyola, and then 20 at Bucknell in the quarterfinals. First Holy Cross player to have two 20-point games in the Patriot League tournament since Rob Feaster back in the day, and now an offensive foul on Ross. Again, what a strange breakdown to the season, and credit Brett Reed for this team not cracking early. A lot of talent, 0-7 start. Their schedule was brutal. At one point, it was the second toughest in the nation. Here at the end of conference play, it's still in the top 20. The likes of Syracuse, Purdue, and Virginia all there early for Lehigh. Green will take it over Justin Goldsboro and make. Senior from Mountain House, California. Again, last year hurt in the Patriot League tournament. Did not come back from the knee injury till mid-season, and helping out any way he can. Kick to the corner for Price. His baseline attack, get it out. Chuku gets the loose change.
Hustle plays, energy, effort, that's what Jesse Chuku is. And when the ball's not going, that's what you got to do. Offensive rebound, put back.
Only of the 5 starters to not score in double figures for Lehigh, and he averages 9.7. So he's right in the neighborhood, and Champion, again, effective on the interior for Holy Cross.
Robert Champion goes to post again, using his size and their creative offense, get a mismatch.
Ross in traffic, Chuku, pull up. Long rebound to Green.
Green's kind of X-factor for Holy Cross. Excellent athlete. You mentioned the knee injury, but he's got great bounce. You see him rebounding there, plays bigger than his size.
Alexander looking to attack again, does, and it hopped out. Lefroy trying to feather the pass. Loose on the floor. We have a held basketball. Let's take a peek and see what the call is.
And you see Champion up here around the three-point line right now. Okay, he's going to go down and look to post and get a mismatch. He does a nice job, and Holy Cross, as we run it here, sees that. He turns, looks like he's going through the basket, and then uses his size. Terrific offense by Holy Cross.
It is held ball, so possession going to Holy Cross. Interesting, talking to Brett Reed, we mentioned Bill Carmody, disciple of Pete Carrill, running that Princeton style. They just saw it. American runs it too, but it's a little bit different, using the size a little bit more of Holy Cross to find mismatches.
Different nuances. And speaking of that, here goes Lehigh to the 2-3 zone. And this is what bothered Holy Cross and won Lehigh the game here a couple weeks ago.
Charles, no good in the pull down for Lefroy. Well, February 15th here in the meeting, Holy Cross was up 8 with 8 left. And then they went ice cold, 18-0 run for Lehigh, and the Mountain Hawks made a bunch of free throws down the stretch to hang on. Lehigh, 4 turnovers the last 6 trips. Have not figured out the 1-3-1 yet. Alexander, quick pass, Green gets it to go.
That's nice zone offense. Don't settle for a long contested three. Get something going to the basket, which also doesn't allow Lehigh to get up and down in transition, and facing this 1-3-1 has been very difficult from the start.
Largest lead of the game for Holy Cross, and it's the largest lead against Lehigh by anybody in the last 5+ games. They'd only trailed by 4. That's the most their deficit was in any of the previous 5 games. Struggles continuing for the Mountain Hawks. Average over 70 points per game, and they've got 6 approaching the 8-minute mark left to go here first half.
They've got to get the game going up and down. This 2-3 zone has been good for them, something that Brett Reed probably didn't want to go to right away, but had to change the tempo.
Ross able to get the theft and stripped. Charles saves the day for the moment. Timeout on the floor. 7:57 left to go. Holy Cross, the road ride continues so far, leading at Lehigh. Now the lowest seed ever to win a Patriot League tournament, a 4 seed, Lafayette last year. Now the 9 seed, Holy Cross, leading Lehigh 14-6 here. First half. Time for the cut above the rest, brought to you by Steel. Tim Kempton, 2-time player of the year. Well, had great numbers down the stretch. He's been kind of invisible so far.
0 rebounds, 1 for 2. The most alarming stat for him right now is he's only taken 2 attempts. If you're Lehigh, he needs to touch the ball. And why he's not? That 1-3-1 has forced Lehigh out of any offensive continuity, and he is not able to get touches around the basket.
6 turnovers so far for the Mountain Hawks. Kempton and Ross, only school with 2 players on the first team all-league list here in the Patriot League this season. First time that's happened in Mountain Hawk history in their 26 years in the Patriot League. Tim Kempton, again, second of the Patriot League in scoring, over 17 per game, second in the league in rebounding, close to 10 per contest, and not near those numbers so far.
Now Holy Cross goes back to the 1-3-1 on the baseline out of bounds. Lehigh's got to look to set some ball screens, try to get Kempton a touch, and attack from the baseline.
In the semifinals, great start for Lehigh. They made 9 of their first 13 shots, just 3 of 14 now so far in this one as Chukwu can't dial it in from the baseline.
And that's not a shot you want. A contested shot by Jesse Chukwu in the corner. Again, Kempton doesn't touch the ball.
Holy Cross, solid efficiency in the offensive end. 6 of 15, 40% for the field. Deep in the shot clock. 2 left. Green hoisting and hitting 3.
You could just see Cross fans growing their confidence, but they're just passing the ball around the perimeter, having fun. They're loose as can be. Lehigh really tight here in the first half.
Will Carmody said earlier this year when we saw him, team getting good shots, just not making enough of them deep in the shot clock, but they are so far. 17-6 the advantage for Bill Carmody, his first season as the head coach at Holy Cross.
And you see perimeter movement, stepping into that jump shot, 1-2 step, hands and feet ready to shoot the ball. Got to get your hands up on the catch, not after he shoots it.
Price, 1,000-point score for Lehigh, top 15 in the league on the season, over 13 per contest. He's not been able to get into rhythm either. He's missed all 3 of his shots so far. And now the illegal screen on Kempton. That's his 2nd foul, and this is not a deep Lehigh team.
Now, a little bit of this is on the point guard. Karan Ross, you got to wait. Let Tim Kempton set his feet. Lehigh just out of sync here offensively and defensively.
Lehigh lost 3 players for the season, including a couple of bigs. Before the season, they're all done. They only dressed 10, really only 9 play. The 10th player, J.J. Davis, local product, was the team manager last year, and especially thin in the post. Goldsboro, efficient, he'll come in, and Kempton with the 2 fouls sits. Alexander. Confidence is thriving for Holy Cross. Timeout, Lehigh. Ten straight for the Crusaders.
3-point field goal defense, one of my keys. Got to run them off the 3-point line. Make Holy Cross dribble it. When they're shooting the ball well, they're very tough to beat. A lot of confidence and a lot of time.
Malachi Alexander in feeling strong. And this team right now with a 20-6 lead, very reminiscent of what they did to Army in the last round. Well, CBS Sports has your Selection Sunday covered. The bracket unfolds live on CBS Saturday, 5:30 Eastern, with the NCAA basketball selection show, Sunday for that selection show. Don't miss all the extended coverage before and after right here on CBS Sports Network with NCAA March Madness bracket breakdown presented by Reese's. And the countdown selection show clock continuing to roll. Best time of the year for college hoops fans. Lehigh trying to get on track in the offensive end. Lefroyno, Goldsboro, second chance. The tap out. Charles finds that. Holy Cross efficient in limiting good shots and also denying Lehigh some good opportunities in the second and third chance.
And when you get an offensive rebound, Lehigh, take your time, shot fake, try to get yourself to the foul line and just break this momentum.
And this is not an uncharacteristic trend for Holy Cross. Second half against Army in the semifinal, they only allowed the Black Knights 12 points and 6 so far here in the opening half for Lehigh. Two of the better offensive teams in the Patriot League. Champion with the kick basketball.
That's the kind of stop they need. A long rebound if you're Lehigh and a quick run out. Try to get something in transition, get a little bit of confidence. But boy, this Holy Cross team, battling, working together, you can just see their team confidence growing.
Matt Zignorski, freshman from Sparta, New Jersey, checking in for Green, who gets a nice round of applause from the Crusader faithful here on the road. Luke Carmody, first year at Holy Cross, has this team believing now at the right time. Tony Crisp looking for some help, didn't get any, so he says Crusader ball. 8th turnover of the half.
Holy Cross playing that 1-3-1, putting a guard along the baseline, but Lehigh unable to use their size and strength around, and Kempton's on the bench.
And now a foul away from the basketball. That's on Lefroy as Tim Kempton can only watch. His dad, talented player at Notre Dame, then in the NBA for about 10 seasons, still working in the league, radio broadcast for the Phoenix Suns. About ready to get on the air. Suns hooking up with the Knicks coming up tonight. Maybe it's a good thing he's not able to watch some of this as his Suns team continues to struggle. A break there, a rare miscue for Holy Cross, just the 3rd turnover of the half on the visitors.
Both teams going to the bench a little bit, and Brett Reed not going to waste any more time. This is do or die time, chance to dance. Got to bring the big fella back in and try to get him some touches around the basket.
You agree with this move then?
Absolutely. Great move by Brett Reed. Got to bring him in here. You have 6 points with 4 minutes to go. You've got to get a little momentum here going into halftime.
Got to have trust factor for this team. Brett Reed talked earlier in the season, thought his guys played a little tentative at times, worrying about getting into foul trouble. We'll see if that becomes a theme here now. Price banged by Champion. Low fouls, as you might expect in this game. Just 9 combined. The teams that commit the 2 fewest fouls in the Patriot League. Zignorski checking out. Green, just a quick breather and back in for Holy Cross.
If you're trying to attack a 1-3-1, another thing that really works is ball fakes, because the slides are very long on defense. You've got to make that defense move. Right now, Holy Cross is almost able to stand in the regular positions and keep their long, active 1-3-1 going.
They're tracking kicks in this game on the defensive chart. Robert Champion's leading the league. He's got about 3 or 4 so far. And now Charles called for the hand check.
And to use a phrase that some coaches probably don't like is sometimes you got to win ugly, and that's the way Holy Cross has to play. A little bit of an experience, new system, all those things we've talked about. So they're going to try to kick every ball, hold it, take their time, and they've done a masterful job thus far.
The madness of March and the magic of March for Bill Carmody and company. And caught lightning in a bottle here, as he said, a little improbable the last 10 days, but trying to ride the good wave. Closing in on 7 minutes without a point for Lehigh. That changes with Kempton back in and gets his first bucket.
High post touches. He's really good in the dribble, and you see him getting his team going. They need a little momentum going into halftime.
Check it, second field goal for Kempton, has 4, but it's a big one for Lehigh to get the crowd back in it too as Green converts at the other end.
Same play they ran for Champion on the other side. I mentioned Green's legs. Terrific athlete for Holy Cross.
The student section is dying to cheer some offense. Limited opportunity. Lefroy tried to force that one in. Kempton active, and that'll be a foul on Busick. Lehigh trying to get off the deck after taking a haymaker here early. Bracket week presented by Kubota. Kempton with the lay-in and trying to pump everybody inside Stabler Arena up. We'll see if it works. The 9-seed Holy Cross looking to continue a miraculous run through the Patriot League tournament. Up here, double figures first half against 2-seeded Lehigh. Time now for the Avocados from Mexico. Freshman profile, Carl Charles on the all-rookie league team here in the Patriot League. Terrific numbers, ramped them up even here in the postseason, Mo.
Has superstar written all over him. Young man from Rutgers Prep School in Piscataway, New Jersey. They love him up on the hill at Holy Cross.
Missed his junior year at Rutgers Prep with a knee issue, so some teams backed off. Bill Carmody got the job last spring, replacing Milan Brown, who was let go after 5 years. Went out with assistant coach and got things rolling and found Charles. As you see, Lehigh continuing to have issues on the offensive end.
A little bit of hesitation there in Kempton. Like to see him just get it, rip it through, get himself to the basket and try to get to the foul line. And Lehigh now changing defense a little bit, a little 2-2-1. Try to speed this game up a little bit.
And to tidy up the story with Charles. Carmody saw him at an open gym 1 week, said if you're good again next week when we come back, we'll talk. He was, he's here, and he's a factor. Green. Kempton can't get there. Thompson wins the race, but a walk. This is the first time Lehigh Mo has trailed since at least 10 since their last loss against Boston U. We talk about this 11-game winning streak. They lost at the buzzer. Easily their winning wave could be 13 games in a row, but they have been really perplexed by this 1-3-1 defense of Holy Cross.
And that game was at the end of January, so this is the first real adversity that they've faced in a while.
Price finally got an open look, couldn't put it down. Ross, second chance is there, and credit John Ross Glover, the senior backup, for getting the second chance.
Sometimes you need a little spark. The crowd loves it, the fans love it, and that's off the bench hustle play. Very tough to defend that second shot off an offensive rebound.
Lehigh finally success from distance. Number 1 in the Patriot League, top 15 in the nation from three-point land in the season. But the threes keep flowing for Holy Cross. Five of 11 from long range for the Crusaders. 14-point advantage. Glover, no good from distance, off of Kempton. Holy Cross ball. Now stay tuned when we get to halftime. We'll go back to our New York studio. Adam Zucker, Danny Granger, Wally Zerbiak, Doug Gottlieb take you around the world of college basketball. Plus, we'll have a recap of the first half here at Stabler Arena. All that and more coming up on AT&T at the half. Been some head-scratching results when Holy Cross has been involved in this Patriot League tournament, and another one here. But seeing them in action, seeing's believing.
Hey, they did this against Army in their last game. They just went in, got out to a big lead, and their 1-3-1 was just almost insurmountable. Lehigh has got to contest the three-point line.
Thompson can't hit another. And Lehigh approaching the final minute with 11 points in this opening half. Lefroy, the pass, Kempton open, got it to go. 6 now for the Mountain Hawks big man. And a little sigh of relief there for the freshman Lefroy. Able to make the correct pass, and Lehigh cashes in. Timeout here with 35.1 seconds left. Bill Carmody got a chat about it. I mentioned Bill Carmody in year number 1, leading the Crusaders. 13 years as head coach at Northwestern. Before that, 4 at Princeton after his long run as the right-hand man for Pete Carrill. 1998, year of his last NCAA tournament team. There's Coach spot shadowed for you on the left side of your screen. So it's been a long time since he's been to the NCAA tournament. Some success at Northwestern, but never able to get the Wildcats over the hump and get them where they've never been before, and that's to the NCAA tournament. And a terrific record at Princeton, and now here in year 1, again sub 500 in the regular season, but 1 win away, 1/2 away now from getting to the NCAA tournament. Holy Cross won 2 of its first 3 games in Patriot League play, then just 3 of its next 12, 5 straight losses to end the regular season. But again, magic so far in the postseason, looking for a 4th straight win and trip to the dance. Three on the timer. Thompson, long range attempt, no. Holy Cross dying to get one more hoop before the half. Ross, Kempton can't get the opportunity for the 3-point play, but he will shoot 2. That's the second on Champion. Team number 7 on Holy Cross here in the half. And Kempton at the free throw line as Brett Reed looks on. Mo, vital for Lehigh to get some points here in this last trip.
Couple free throws here, a little momentum, and then make sure you don't get beat long. Keep the basketball in front of you if you're Lehigh. Don't give Holy Cross a chance for the last second shot.
Kempton about 75% from the free throw line of the season. Top 12 in the league, but misfiring on the first. In massive numbers so far down the stretch here in the season, but held in check. Gets the second, and he'll check out, not want to risking getting a 3rd foul here on this last-ditch effort for Holy Cross before the break. Champion will just heave it. The Crusaders trying to find a way to the NCAA tournament. Bill Carmody ready to chat about it with his team, but talking about a double-figure lead here at halftime. And 2-time Patriot League Player of the Year, Tim Kempton, with work to do, he and his team behind at home, held to just 14 points in the opening 20 minutes. Mo Cassera standing by with Dr. Brett Reed.
Coach, offensive struggles against that 1-3-1. What are we going to work on at halftime?
Well, if you shoot 20% and you have 9 turnovers, you're going to have some problems. So we got to get better at our basics. When we've got the ball in the corner, we haven't really squared up. The pace of our cuts haven't been good enough, and we've just got to make sure that we come and get that ball. Now, we've had some finishes and we had some looks. We just haven't knocked them down. I'd also like to see our guards be more aggressive with a little bit of penetration up at the top. Right now, they're too passive and too high.
Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
Coach Mo, thanks. Halftime here at Stable Arena in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and it's all Holy Cross at the break. 25-14 at the break of the Patriot League Championship. Adam Zucker and the gang, they've got AT&T at the half coming up after the timeout. That's what they're playing for here. Patriot League Championship trophy. Right now, Holy Cross has the upper hand on Lehigh, 25-14 at the break. Armo Caseri standing by with the head coach in the lead right now. That's Holy Cross's Bill Carbon.
Coach, team defense has been great here on the road. What do you have to do to keep it going here in the second half?
Yeah, I think we have to maintain our offense. You know, we can't just rely on our defense because eventually a team like Lehigh, they score, they score. So we have to make sure we're still going after them offensively because we had some pretty bad possessions there, I thought. So we have to keep it going at that end and hope our defense can be, pretty solid.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Gentlemen, thanks. A look at the first half numbers. So the offense, when you look at it statistically, pretty solid, shooting close to 42% from the floor. 5 of 14, almost 36% from long range. Turnovers plaguing Lehigh. And again, the offense really never going. Kempton had the 2 fouls, came back in. 7 points for him. He shot 3 of 4. The rest of his teammates, 7 points. 3 of 19, and the crowd dying to get involved in this game. Trying to see some spark from the home squad. Both of these teams looking to make the NCAA tournament and coming up and get through again. Holy Cross hands there from Charles as Mo comes back in to join me here at midcourt at Stabler Arena. Asked you at the top of the game, how is Holy Cross even in this championship? Now the question is, how does Lehigh get back in?
Lehigh has to change the tempo. They got to get the crowd in the game, and they got to get the game going up and down.
Price, deep three, good. Native of Indiana, played his high school ball at Detroit Country Day School, alongside, among others, Xavier's Edmund Sumner, part of the Big East All-Rookie team for the Musketeers. Price maybe jump-starting Lehigh. Holy Cross averaged 23 seconds per possession in the first half. Kind of slowed down Lehigh. Mountain Hawks were 21 per trip in the opening 20 minutes. But get off the miss. Mountain Hawks, Brett Reed talked about the guards finding more of those gaps. We'll see if they're successful. And a foul here against Holy Cross.
That's the stop that Lehigh needed on defense as well. A contested 3. Offense and defense, those are the type of possessions, as I mentioned before, key for them. Get the crowd back into the game.
Foul on Alexander, his second. Again, really a low foul game. Nobody with more than 2 so far here this Patriot League Championship. Price off the screen from Kempton and off the side rim.
And you see Holy Cross going to slow the game down here a little bit, take their time on offense. Every second that runs by, they're closer and closer to their game plan being executed and dancing in March.
You look at the last 2 halves for Holy Cross. They held Army to 12 in the second half, Lehigh to 14 in the first half of this game. That's 26 points essentially over the last game played for this defense. Bill Carmody talked about the offense needing to keep it up. Thompson delivers 3.
Anthony Thompson has been special. Leadership, toughness, stepping into that 3. Too easy of a shot for Lehigh.
Kempton. Look at the purple jerseys collapsing, but he finds a way through.
Really nice offense there by the big fella, taking his time, not panicking in the lane, gathering himself, and you see his size and strength.
2-time defending Patriot League Player of the Year, now with 9. 3 offline from Hamilton. There have been no fast break points for either team in this game. Transition opportunities not existent. Kempton had to change his shot and couldn't put it home.
Nice hustle play by Green there, getting in the way, distracting him a little bit. And you see, just out of sync again a little bit by Lehigh. And on defense, you don't want to let Holy Cross shoot any 3s. Run them off the 3-point line if you want to get back in this game.
Under 10 on the shot clock. Nice spot. Alexander for Green, couldn't finish. Lefroy off the fake. Kick out for Ross. He'll try three. The Mountain Hawks on the move. 11-3 run for Lehigh. Green kick out. Thompson. Ross got a piece. Saved by Alexander. Under 5 on the timer. Hamilton has to throw it up. And made it!
Coach Carmody just dropped his hands. He wasn't happy with the last 2 shots that Cullen Hamilton took, but he stepped up and made a really difficult third one.
Had to take it and made it. And now another turnover on Lehigh. Lefroy will pick up that last foul, but the Mountain Hawks may be finding their range. Price with 1. Ross checks in. And Lehigh starting to believe, but Holy Cross still in front. The road to the Final Four continues with more bracket week action presented by Kubota. CBS Sports Network brings you coverage of the Mountain West tournament starting tomorrow at 3 Eastern, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. The action already furious. UNLV in triple overtime over Air Force to advance to the next round against Fresno State tomorrow. Jason Knapp, Mo Cassera here. Patriot League final. Either Holy Cross, the 9 seed, or Lehigh, the 2 seed, going to the NCAA tournament. And Mo, the 1-3-1 zone, Lehigh having trouble solving it.
Now watch what Holy Cross does. They're guarding the ball, they're fronting the post, and they're denying at the elbow. And all 5 of their guys are inside the 3-point line. They've packed it in, and they've made it very difficult. Lehigh has just dribbled around the perimeter a lot, not been able to get anything going. 9 turnovers in the first half.
Again, you're hiding your shorter players the way they're playing it in the front and back, and then the length there in the middle, and the guards haven't found open space.
And what do you have to do to beat that? You've got to look into that high post area where Kempton is so good. Let him play off that, because they're actually inviting you into that short corner area where they just took a charge.
Getting it to the talented Tim Kempton has been the issue. He's been efficient when he's got his mitts on it, indeed. Alexander over Kempton. Green battling for it and gets the extra possession for Holy Cross. Trying to find Alexander on the baseline and through his hands. Just the 5th turnover for Coach Carmody and the Crusaders.
Win games on the road, got to take care of the basketball. It's going to be really key for Holy Cross here.
It's only 5, but it feels like a painful 5 when you look at it in a tournament final.
And that's because of the style that Holy Cross plays. Every possession is so important.
Guards not able to solve and get into the heart of that 1-3-1. Entry to Kempton. He's got to do the dirty work. Does! Counted on the foul. Back-to-back Player of the Year awards in the Patriot League for Tim Kempton.
I just spoke about this. Get Tim Kempton the ball in the elbow, because he's so good there, taking his time, ripping through, and his strength and size, as you mentioned, going against that smaller player on the backside of the defense, he's really good.
Makes the 3-point play, the foul on Champion, that's his 3rd. 6-point game.
Lehigh stays in the 2-3 zone. They've got to defend the 3-point line, finish with a box out and a rebound, keep this momentum going if you're the Mountain Hawks.
Holy Cross again, taking its time, under 5 of the timer. Champion launching 3. Rebound Lefroy, looking to run, ahead for Price. fortunate to save it to Glover. Price, the lob for Kempton offline. Green, reverse. Short-armed it a little. But again, the pace starting to favor the way Lehigh wants to play. Stuck. The Rock is in a hard place.
I can't even follow that comment up. That was perfect. I didn't even have anything to say after that.
That kind of been symbolic here for Lehigh. Again, shown flashes of a team that's won 11 straight. One of the longest winning streaks in the country currently. And it's tied for the most in school history. Last Lehigh team to win 11 straight back in 1926. So the Mountain Hawks in rare territory. A win streak of a dozen in a row means they're back in the big dance for the first time since 2012. Champion has deep range. And we'll see at what point does the pressure creep in on Lehigh. Lefroy responds, says what pressure?
And Lefroy had to respond because he made a mistake last time on defense. You can't let Robert Champion shoot the ball with his feet set on defense. He needed that three to keep Lehigh in it.
As the possessions dwindle, Holy Cross has found success. They took out the 1-seed Bucknell in the quarterfinal. First time a 1-seed is ever lost on its home floor that early in the Patriot League tournament. Alexander cans another three ball. Crusaders not going away.
Another mistake on defense, gambling and allowing another three.
Lefroy with an angry attack back. Timeout, Brett Reed, and you get the sense that he wants to address some things defensively.
Excellent timeout. Talk about what they're doing and missing on defense.
Tim Kempton and company on the move, but Holy Cross in front. Last 5 field goals for the Crusaders, all threes. March Madness. You look at the automatic bids so far. Austin P, another C that made a deep run. Holy Cross tried to follow suit. And the winner here moving on with an automatic ticket to the big dance. Jason Knapp here with Mo Cassera, the Patriot League Championship. Holy Cross looking for its 4th straight road win in the tournament to get to the NCAA Promised Land. Up 7 on the Lehigh Mountain Hawks.
It's been mistakes here on defense by Lehigh, gambling and not knowing where shooters are. That time you see Kyle Lefroy go to guard the high post and leave Robert Champion alone. This time he goes to the elbow and leaves Malachi Alexander open, who's 4 for 5 from the three. 2 mistakes. Lehigh doesn't play a lot of zone. So Brett Reed, great timeout, talks about it. Got to know where the three-point shooters are and try to run them off the line if you're Lehigh.
Yeah, you look at Holy Cross, all the makes in this half have been threes. You look at the game, they've made 5 twos and 9 threes. We got to expect Holy Cross would like to keep striking from distance.
And Lehigh goes back to man here. Got to just man up, try to get stops here and cut down this lead.
Charles, he'll launch again from behind the arc. Ross, Kempton, quickly double, solves it. The answer to a lot of questions can be 6 feet 10 inches tall and named Tim Kempton. Getting it to their big man and delivering big things. Kempton getting into double figures and starting to maybe get in the heads of the Holy Cross defense. Chance to make it a three-point play out of the timeout here on CBS Sports Network. Lehigh maybe starting to feel a little more confident as we look at the AT&T Game summary here. Mountain Hawks been trailing since Holy Cross made that push first half, but after a horrible 3-16 start from the field, Lehigh's made 10 of its last 18, in part because they're getting number 32 in the post involved.
He's so good with the ball in the elbow area in the high post because he takes his time. Young big players usually don't want to take their time. They're in a hurry. He gathers himself, rips through, and a foul shot here allows them to set their defense, try to string some stops together.
Gets the friendly hop. Missed a couple of games at the end of the non-conference schedule with a foot issue, was in a boot. Came back huge for Lehigh and been a force since. Charles baseline attack and gets the contact from Kempton. That's his third personal. But how about that? Trying to wave off his sub. But Brett Reed realizing there's still 11+ minutes in. Justin Goldsboro will come off at least for the moment.
And that's a good move because you don't want him to pick up a quick fourth on an out-of-bounds play like we just saw right there.
That's why coaches have to say, made the move, and another foul underneath on Lehigh. That's the second on Austin Price. The Brett Reed, you know he's a smart guy. He's champions at the free throw line. It is Dr. Brett Reed, one of only 2 Division I head coaches in college basketball, with a doctorate degree in instructional technology. And one of those coaches, Mo, is champion misses them both. When you ask him a question, you know he actually thinks about his response. Not all of them do.
Much more than I ever did when I got asked questions, I'll tell you that. Wonderful guy to be around. Been around him a lot this year. Terrific season.
Lefroy can't make it a one-point game. Holy Cross haven't gotten to the line a lot tonight, and they haven't made any when they've been there. 0 of 4 from the line. Lefroy had a quick first step, but couldn't control it.
With Kempton out of the game, Karan Ross got to take a little more leadership here on offense, and that means being a little more aggressive. He's always willing to distribute the basketball. He's got to look to score a little bit more if you're Lehigh.
Has a half dozen points, averaged 11 on the season, but 18 per game, final 7 of the regular season, and another foul call on the Mountain Hawks.
And you just saw why Lehigh went to zone, having so much trouble guarding this Princeton-style back-cutting offense, and you've seen foul, foul, foul here for Lehigh.
That's back-to-back on Price, so he and Kempton both with 3. Quick restart in the underneath out of bounds, and Alexander buries another triple, his 5th.
Malachi Alexander has been phenomenal.
15 for him. And again, electric performances throughout the Patriot League tournament. Ross looking for that shot, not able to solve it. Out of bounds, will stay at this end. Kempton's breather was about a minute long. He's back in. Another breather for Price, too. Devin Carter, senior from Cleveland, Ohio. Reserve here for Lehigh, getting some more run. Lefroy. Kempton trying to save it in heavy traffic, and it's a held basketball call. Arrow favoring Lehigh.
It's a really difficult shot along that baseline, that drive and floater. Holy Cross is actually inviting Lehigh to take that shot, because then Kempton doesn't touch the basketball. Tim Kempton keeps it alive.
7-point lead for Holy Cross. 10-10 left to go. Winner, the auto bid to the NCAA tournament. Ross will pull up and stick it. The sophomore is 8.
And that ball screen created a mismatch. And the young point guard took Advantage that with the jump shot.
He was the Patriot League Rookie of the Year last season, led all freshmen in the nation in assists. His scoring stepped up here in year 2 for the Mountain Hawks. Alexander on the take. Lehigh fans thinking a block. I believe the foul's coming on Chukwu. That's the first on the senior from London, England.
And I'll tell you why this is a good play for Holy Cross, because Tim Kempton doesn't want to pick up his 4th foul. Jesse Chukwu, as good as a shot blocker as he is there, he's got to beat him to the spot and take a charge.
Not able to set himself. Alexander with those 5 3-pointers, adds to it with 1 from the free throw line.
I mentioned it earlier, talking to the radio guys from Holy Cross and some of the media people from Holy Cross. They really feel when Malachi Alexander plays well, they're really, really good. And guess what? 5 for 6 from the 3. I think that's pretty good tonight.
Alexander making the first free throw of the night for the Crusaders, looking to add another. He and Anthony Thompson, AAU teammates, both coming to Worcester, both recruited by Milan Brown. Give Coach Brown some credit, recruited a lot of the talent on this roster, never could put it together for Holy Cross the last handful of years. Kempton on the inside, another and 1.
If you're Lehigh, you really shouldn't do anything except try to get the ball to Tim Kempton, because that backside, the back line of that 1-3-1 is small and doesn't have the strength or size to stop Tim Kempton.
4th foul on Robert Champion. Brett Reed directing traffic defensively. Remember the last meeting here last month for these two teams. Lehigh was down 8 with about 8 to play. Holy Cross went cold against the Mountain Hawks zone. Lehigh had an 18-0 surge and rolled on to the win. Will it be a similar storyline here with the ultimate prize awaiting a trip to the NCAA tournament? Here's that 2-3 zone. Charles passing out of the elbow. Green hits the long 2. Well, you know they got bothered by it the last meeting. Surely they prepared for it this time around. And good passing to free up the open man Green. First 2-point bucket for Holy Cross in 15 minutes of game time. It's been a steady diet of threes. Ross can't hit his from long range.
Eric Green, really nice job tonight, rebounding. Plays bigger than he is. Big jump shot there against the zone. Lehigh now going to have to really be disciplined on defense.
Thompson from well deep. Cusick trying to bother Kempton, the rebound to the floor. Price for 3. Has Nat found his stroke on the night?
That one would have brought the roof off this building. One of the things that's not going to show up in the stat sheet that Holy Cross has done a wonderful job of, transition defense. They have been back every time, contested every shot.
Just 1 field goal in the game for Price. He had a 1,000-point score in his career for Lehigh. Cusick stripped. Price will attack the paint. Kempton, offensive rebound, and lay-in. $20 now for Tim Kempton. Half of his team's points in the biggest game of the season. On the timer. Green attacking. Floater. Yes! Eric Green been phenomenal. missed half the season returning from a knee injury and coming back with a vengeance for the Crusaders. Lefroy. Green was there contesting that too.
Lehigh really has to contain the dribble because Holy Cross is going to take time every possession now. 19 in the shot clock. They're going to run it down, and then they're going to look for dribble drive. Got to sit down and move your feet, play through the whole possession for Lehigh.
8, 7, 6.
Thompson again. Wanted it, didn't get it. Cusick in the battle for it. Ross into the scorer's table. And they say it's Holy Cross ball. 6 minutes left. 6-point lead for Holy Cross. And the Crusaders trying to get back to the NCAA tournament for the 13th time. Never miss a moment of college basketball with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every score, every game, every highlight, right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now. 46-40, Holy Cross on top of Lehigh here, the Patriot League Championship. Jason Knapp and Mo Cassera with you. It's the 97th year of Holy Cross basketball. We mentioned it before. If they win, they'll go to the NCAA tournament for the 12th time. Only one of 16 schools to win both the NCAA and the NIT. A couple of these guys helped for those title runs in the 40s and 50s. Bob Cousy, Tommy Heinsohn going on to great success in the NBA with the Boston Celtics, of course, as well. Tonight's star for the Crusaders, Malachi Alexander.
A developing star, the Bowie, Maryland native. 5 for 6 from the three. 9 rebounds, 17 points, and has really done a nice job on defense. Holy Cross has the tempo and the style of play everywhere they want it right now. 6 minutes to go to dance.
Malachi saying earlier this week, our confidence at an all-time high. Really, there's no pressure, but does the pressure start to hit now when you realize that goal, which maybe seemed unattainable 8 days ago, is now only 6 minutes away?
The pressure really is on Lehigh now because it's all about stops, and Holy Cross from the tip here has really had the momentum offensively and defensively. So if you're Lehigh, Coach Reed's talking that huddle. Hey, 6 minutes to go. We got to cut this thing down. About 3 minutes. You want to have it a one-possession game. So possession by possession now.
Charles, opportunity to post on the inside and gets up and around the floor. And the freshman from across the river here in eastern Pennsylvania, from Piscataway, New Jersey, probably about an hour or so away. Able to have a big run here at Lehigh. Now another turnover on the Mountain Hawks. Just their second turnover the last 26 trips down the floor. And now a foul call on the Mountain Hawks. 6th of the half. It's on Lefroy, his 3rd.
Style of play really favors Holy Cross. Now they're going to take as much time as they can, every possession off the clock, and they have size advantages, as you see here again. Lefroy dead behind in the post.
Thompson will work some clock. Underneath Charles, champion, the nice find in the bucket. The lead back to double digits. Lefroy finally hits from the corner.
Got to give the freshman a lot of credit. He's had a couple defensive breakdowns, but a big shot from the corner to keep his team alive here, down 7.
4th field goal of the night for the freshman from California, his 2nd 3. Alexander bangs home another triple. He's got 6 from behind the arc tonight. 11 in the game for Holy Cross. Lefroy. He'll throw in 3. Trading blows here in the Patriot League final.
March Madness at its best. Both teams going toe-to-toe here. Every possession. 4 minutes to go now. incredibly important, especially for Lehigh. They can't give away extra opportunities.
Alexander pulls up and puts it in over Kempton. Malachi Alexander having a monumental Patriot League tournament. 22 tonight in the final. And the block now called on the inside. And Alexander getting some assistance to get up. Final media timeout here of regulation. Trading threes, Holy Cross, Malachi Alexander with another. Lefroy gets one back for Lehigh. Final stretch coming up. Patriot League Championship trophy awaits the winner. Holy Cross looking to win it for the 6th time. They won 3 in a row, 2001 through 2003 under Ralph Willard. Last won it in 2007, and Lehigh tried to win it for the 4th time, for the 3rd time since 2010. Bill Carmody, year 1 on the job, looking for a 4th straight win to put his team, the 9th seed in the 10-team Patriot League tournament, to the NCAA tournament. Price hits off the inbounds play.
Excellent play, baseline out of bounds. Caught Holy Cross off guard a little bit. Nice play, and Price gets it going. Now it's going to be defensive stops for the Mountain Hawks.
He had been 1 of 10 previously in the game. Austin Price, both of his makes are from long range. Charles attacking, had a step on Chukwu, and the senior forced to foul the freshman.
Lehigh foul on number 31, Jesse Chukwu, his 2nd, team's 7th.
So Charles to the line. And Holy Cross's issues in the strike continue, just 2 of 7.
Little bit of inexperience, young team, and a big stage here. To win on the road, win big games, you got to make free throws.
Bill Carmody talking about his freshman, says he does everything well, passing, can post up, but the free throws an issue for the freshman and his teammates. 6-point lead, Ross on the tape. It's down to 4 again.
First time Ross has been able to drive and get to the basket. Lehigh goes back straight up, man-to-man.
Green had to be athletic to make the catch, pass a little offline. Thompson, the try for 3. Rebound, Lefroy. Ross kick, Price for 3. Great box out by Alexander to deny Kempton the chance for the board.
Excellent box out, Malachi Alexander, maybe the best play of the game. Nice roll-up offense there. Lehigh got to play through the full possession here. Play without fouling, really important now.
Kick out, Champion. That was short all the way. Charles saved it. Turned it over. Rice wanted to go, couldn't. No openings in the heart of the Holy Cross D. Ross from the elbow. Short, got his own rebound. Chukwu eyes it up. Got it! The Mountain Hawks believe their senior from across the pond in London, England, Jesse Chukwu, delivers a critical 3-ball.
How great is this? Jesse Chukwu really been silent offensively. Hustle play here. by Ross, and then the kick out, and the senior, in front of all of his friends, sets this place on fire. The crowd is into it. We have a one-possession game. A lot of strategy and a lot of basketball left here in this last minute.
Ross with the setup as a new single-season assist record in Lehigh history. And that one may be the most important of the campaign, freeing Chukwu.
So if you're Lehigh, you're talking about what you're going to play defensively, whether it's man or zone, and they've switched back and forth. So they're going to sit in that huddle and go with their best defense, talk about defending the three-point line, playing without fouling, and 23 seconds on the shot clock. Holy Cross is drawing up a play against man and zone. They're going to try to run this shot clock down. Lehigh's last instructions, finish with a rebound.
Lehigh watched Holy Cross devastate them from three-point land, but now things turning around for Jesse Chukwu and company. Top three-point shooting team percentage-wise in the league in the season. 1 of 7 in the first half from distance, 7 of 15 here after the intermission. You look at the game reset, arrow favoring Holy Cross. Multiple timeouts for both head coaches to work with. 66 seconds left in regulation. That's tapped out, aggressive from Lefroy.
And Lehigh comes out man-to-man. This is what it all comes down to. End of the season, possession on defense. Lehigh going to try to use a little of that athleticism and quickness in the backcourt to really bother Holy Cross now.
And Tony Crisp wanting to check something with the table officials. Mo, you talked about the crowd. They were really a non-factor, 4,000 plus strong here inside Stabler. They've been a huge factor here down the stretch.
They sure have. It is rocking in here. We can barely hear each other. And I'll tell you what, we are in for an exciting last minute here. Look for Holy Cross to run that Princeton style, open the court up, try to look for a dribble drive at the end of the shot clock, creating a foul.
Alexander wants to work on Kempton, who's called for the foul on the floor. That's his 4th. That's a smart play by Holy Cross to go after Kempton.
Really smart play. Malachi has quick feet and really good off the bounce. Draws a foul. And you see here a little isolation. Everybody's up top. Kempton's got to move his feet. Going to come down to free throws now here on the road for Holy Cross.
Remember, the Crusaders just 2 of 8 from the line in the game. More confident looking for Alexander that time.
Boy, has he been good tonight. He is just a growing star. I'll tell you what, there's going to be some all-league players on this Holy Cross team next year in the Patriot League.
Back-to-back 20-point games in the first 2 rounds of the league tournament. Helped lead the way in the semis at Army, and now 20-plus again. Malachi may get some write-in votes for president if this lead holds for the Crusaders.
One possession game, no need for a 3 here for Lehigh. The best shot available. Kempton needs to get a touch.
Ross trying to find the big man. Price will work it back out to the point guard for the Mountain Hawks. Chukwu. Again, no opening to find Kempton. 13 left to shoot. Price retreats. Kempton will flash to the baseline. Now trying to work on Green, gets to the contact. And a foul coming up on Green, non-shooting foul, just the 6th of the half on Holy Cross. So underneath, out of bounds, restart for Lehigh.
Very good foul there in that possession. Had a foul to give. New shot clock here. And again, Lehigh doesn't have to take a 3 here. They can get something going to the basket. Extend the game.
And now Thompson going for the steal, reached in. They'll send Ross to the line. 1-and-1 coming up. You like that play?
Not a good foul there, a reaching foul, a little too aggressive, kind of bailing Lehigh out. So going to come down to making free throws here on this end, and for Lehigh setting their defense full court.
Ross at the line makes the first. Lehigh looking on. Mountain Hawks haven't lost since January 31st. And Tyler Jenkins, sophomore sub, will come in, presumably to help on defense and maybe pull the trigger on a foul if needed. Kempton's got 4. He can't be the guy.
Smaller, quicker team here to be able to pick up full court.
A pair for Ross. Brett Reed wants to chat about it. 33 ticks left. So the defensive game plan right now for Lehigh here, when you know Holy Cross is gonna really string this out.
So if you're Lehigh, going to pick up full court. Most importantly, Coach Reed's saying, don't get beat long. Keep everybody in front of you. Worst case scenario, we can foul then. See if we can get a good trap, maybe 2 traps. Try to really bother them in the backcourt, and then they're talking about who they want to foul if they have to, and Coach Reed will give the signal to foul when they want to. Or they can play through the whole possession, but they're going to look to try to get 2 traps. If you're Holy Cross, value the basketball. Coach Carmody talking about meet the pass. Go and get it with 2 hands. If you have a problem, call a timeout.
And Bill Carmody's team lost its last 5 in a row down the regular season. Again, Lehigh hasn't lost seemingly in forever. Tied with Kansas, one of the longest win streaks in the country, behind Stephen F. Austin out of the Southland Conference from Texas. Here we go. No foul yet. And now finally, Jenkins, who checked into the game, does his job and pulls the trigger on the foul on Alexander, and a 1-and-1 coming up.
And that's a mistake by Lehigh. That's the guy you don't want to foul. And not only that, he was allowed to enter the ball and then get it over half court. So a little too much time, and probably not the guy you want to foul if you're Lehigh. Another big key here this last 25 seconds. Free throw box out. It's got a box out on a missed free throw if you're Lehigh. And if you're Holy Cross, you don't want to commit a foul on a missed free throw.
Alexander scored the last 7 points for the Crusaders, who make it 8 straight. Holy Cross has the most titles in Patriot League history, looking for a 6th. And Alexander helping the cause. 26 points for the junior.
Again, don't have to take a 3 here. Best first shot available. Try to extend the game.
Lefroy tried the 3, missed it. Long rebound to Ross. Now it's getting to the time where you need the 3. Ross takes it. Front rim. Lefroy to the corner. Chuku, Lefroy, missed it. One more chance. It won't go, and Holy Cross does it. 4 straight road wins to get to the big dance. 4 shots to fall. Carmody called it an improbable 10-day run. That run's going to continue, presumably, to the first 4 in Dayton. The Crusaders not done yet. First trip to the dance since 2007, the 13th all-time. Malachi Alexander, one of the big reasons why. In Lehigh, Mo talking about they didn't need a 3 early. Well, they needed one late and had multiple chances. Another good look from Lefroy. One more hop to Ross and can't deliver. And Champion and his teammates, what didn't seem remotely possible 10 days ago has become reality. And don't pinch the folks from Worcester. they don't want to wake up, because Holy Cross at 14-19 is going to the NCAA tournament. You look at the scramble. Lefroy, fairly clean look. Ross, the desperation, and that will do it on Lehigh's season. They beat the 8 seed on the road in round 1, the 1 seed in the quarterfinals, the 4 seed in the semifinal, and now the 2 seed takedown in the championship. As the celebration continues, time now for the Serve Pro play of the game. Malachi Alexander. Such a monster tournament. Had all those threes early in this game, then went inside and just pulled up right in the face of Tim Kempton. And can celebrate the win. Big outing for Alexander. And Holy Cross continues the ride. The celebration is on. And Mo Cassera standing by with head coach Bill Carmody of the Crusaders.
Coach, 4 straight road wins and now a trip to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it's just it's certainly improbable, I would say that, and the guys just hung in there, you know, because I'm somewhat of a knucklehead, and during the year, then they were fighting me, I was fighting them. We have some hard-headed guys, but they hung in there, and you know, these last 10 days have just been extraordinary.
Well, talk about that. Such a difficult year, ups and downs, and now to see these guys so happy, and the staff and everybody back in Worcester's got to be feeling thrilled.
Yeah, you know, we're trying to, our President Burrows, and AD Nate Pine, they just said, you know, we're going to try to bring Holy Cross back, you know, because you remember when it was a powerhouse. I know that. And so it's just so good. The expectations might be high for next year, so that's what I'm a little afraid of.
And Coach, let's bring the star in here. Malachi, you shot the ball incredibly well. You looked confident tonight, but most importantly, free throws at the end of the game.
Yeah, those are huge for me. They were bothering me all throughout the season. I was in the gym working on them, and it really paid off tonight. I just stepped up and made them. Just a confident shot.
And how about just how much does this mean to these guys? What you guys have been through here over the last year?
This is huge. I can't even put it in words. We fought. This whole team fought. This was a team win. I was stepping up and making shots, but this was a team effort right here, and it's unbelievable.
Jason, we got some happy people, and there's some happy people back in Worcester.
That's certainly the case. Coach Malachi, Mo, thank you very much. Again, the improbable ride will continue for Holy Cross on to the NCAA tournament. Not a lot of folks gave them credit when the Patriot League postseason started, but there are believers now. For Mo Cassera and our entire crew, this is Jason Knapp saying so long. Thanks for joining us. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network. More coming up from New York.